have something to say. And I want to say that this is one thing you don't know, you probably didn't know. My cousin at the age of 18 gave birth to her son.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother was there. Her mother, great pregnancy, everything was right. Her mother left, and within an hour, her child's mother, the child's father called and said, "Come back. She's in pain." By
Mm-hmm.
the time she got back, it was about 2.5, 3 hours later. Her name's Sean, and she was like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "We're in pain." The nurse says it's normal. She lifts up the sheet, and she was soaked in blood. She was bleeding after the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
They had to take her in, and they gave her an emergency hysterectomy, and she went into a coma and never came out of the coma.
Oh my God, that's terrible. And you know what? I don't want to depress anyone. I don't want to make anyone sad. But this is the reality. This is the reality of being a woman and a person of color, and the disparities in our healthcare system. And why is it our voices are not as important as other people's voice? Because I always tell people, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give you medical advice. But when you are at the hospital and you're talking to the doctor and you're talking to the nurse and you're like, hey, something is not right. Respect my body. Know that I know when I'm not feeling right. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. And Renee, I'm going to say that not only do you have a son, but with you and your school, you are also a pseudo mother, fictive kin to numerous hundreds of young women of color in the Florida area. So can you just share before you do your first poem, because you're going to do two, how you doing, whether you like it or not, how you doing, how you doing, okay? Share your experiences of parenting in the pandemic, and how were you able to also keep your students going during these trying times?
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I feel like I am a parent. They call me Mama Moss. Like they
Mm-hmm.
don't call me, it's not Miss Moss, it's Mama Moss. I'm known as Mama Moss. And they call me before they call their parents sometimes. They'll call me when they're in trouble. They'll call me when they're doing good. It's like that's that Mama Moss. So sometimes it's not about physically giving birth. It's about that emotional attachment of giving birth to these kids and giving birth to dreams and purpose and imagination. And when I say they were depressed during the COVID, it has been so underestimated, the depression that our kids have been going through. So we would
Mm-hmm.
have like Zoom calls with each other. And when we had Zoom calls, I was like, okay, let's meet for like random Zoom calls. Let's meet for 30 minutes. And 2 hours later, well, we don't want to go. We just like seeing each other's faces. And we created a family. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
was so important, that a family that they can call on me, they can text me, they knew the rest of the team. Just the other day we had a Zoom call and they didn't want to get off after the meeting. I was like, I have stuff to do, I have to go. But it's like those social impacts, just because we can't touch each other, I created experiences where we did online, we played games online, we did watch nights together.
Mm-hmm.
We decided we would spend a day sometimes just watching speech and debate, sometimes just watching a simple movie together and talking about it and talk with each other. So we still felt that touch within each other. I have about 17 seniors that are about to graduate. We started talking about their future choices, where you want to go to college. So it was like, I mean, those kids, I still have my alumni that comes down and they still talk to me when they're having problems in school. One, I just got a car. Well, I didn't pay for the car, but I took her through the steps of getting a car. And we went to the car place with her. And those are the type of bursts that are important also, because as a teacher, I hate to say I've seen so many teachers destroy our kids.
Mm-hmm.
They destroy their dreams. They destroy them as people. They tell them everything they can't do and tell them there's only one way to succeed. And it just hurts my heart, like when I see that, which is why I'm starting my own school. So,
Mm-hmm.
because I think there should be a passion for learning that we're not instilling in our kids. Right now, they think school is a punishment, and they're missing out
Mm-hmm.
on so much because of it.
Okay, all right. Well said, well said. Now you've met the educator, the mother, the Mama Moss. Now she's about to do some of her poetry.
Oh my goodness, it's been so long. I'm so used to getting my kids to perform. So I was like, oh, so I pulled out a fairly new one for my recent book. And then I
Mm,
pulled out an old one from that I did a long time ago. And I was trying to think about the theme and some things. So the first one, as women, I like that Dr. Lewis brought that up. You know, there's a certain role, there's a certain way that we think about women, you know, what we are to provide. There's times that women, okay, you go work, but we still expect you to come home and cook and clean and do everything else. So we end up doing double duty instead of
mm-hmm.
sharing the duties. So these images of what we should perceive ourselves to be. And I wrote a poem a long time ago called Cattle Call. The cow and the bull mates, then procreates to produce what is known as the cow. While the male calf is reared to be strong, it is often strong-willed and tends to use the wrong heads to control situations, which often lead to confrontations here and there. Meanwhile, the female calf is reared to barter her wares to live in society. Because as the saying goes, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? I disturbingly associate myself with the female calf as I graze upon this land, being reared by the tales, fables, and mores of my ancestors, which we call women. What I know is that I have been reared to barter my stuff to the man, which we shall refer to as the bull. To receive what I want from him, I use my stuff to lure him in. For if my ancestors are right about not giving my milk away for free, then exactly what do I charge for me? For if my stuff is all I have to offer, then it really must be expensive. So let's break it down to a scale. The closer you get to pasteurizing my milk, the more I charge for the fare. Let's start with the smell. For a sniff and a whiff of the upper lip, which when suckle produces milk, for a smell of my tail, I require you to fill my tummy. Without food to eat, I will be weak, and how do you expect my milk to run? And now for a taste. For you to pasteurize my milk with a stiff upper lip, I require you to cover my soft, supple skin, which is also bartered to many men with clothes. And now for you to come in me, be one with me as we float on heavenly wings to ecstasy, I require a house, a car, 2 kids, a dog, and don't forget that diamond ring. I know. Some of you are shocked at the vulgarity of my ways to blame society, not me, for the games that are being played. Going back to buy the cow because the milk is not for free. Society be damned. If I want a piece, let me be me. As I'm weighed down by the tales, fables, and mores of my ancestors, I say something has to be wrong with this theology. To say that the only thing I have to tempt the bull to come to run to stay is strategically placed between my legs. Well, if I was the type of cow that always followed the herd exactly where it leads, then maybe something would be wrong with this travesty. But this cow has evolved into a matador, and my brain is the red flag. And as the bull is charging at me, he's not thinking of what he had because of my mental capabilities. He stops and proceeds to bow down. He takes the horn off his head, and I wear him as a crown. And as we walk hand in hand and leaving the arena and the games that's been played, the crowd cheers a different victory than the normal deathbed. Because I, knowing that my self-worth is not believing that my stuff is all I have to offer a man, so society be damned, I take my destiny in my own hands, giving away my milk when I want to because I like the way it feels. Yet you ask, why they keep trying to buy this cow? Because my mind is a thing that's not for sale.
Well, all right, all right. I'm gonna harass Karen Scott because the whole time you was performing that, she was just like, Karen, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me, and I hope you don't mind me picking with you. How you doing today? I asked to you got to unmute.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, there you go. I saw
I'm
you.
just
It was
fine.
okay. She was resonating with you. I saw you just leaning in, huh?
Always, yes. I love poetry. So.
Okay. And what state are you checking us out from?
Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
What? Up in the Ohio, there's a lot of corn there. A lot of corn and a lot of ladybugs.
A lot of cows too.
I ain't seen no cows, but I know there's a lot of corn. I'll take your word for the cows. Okay. Renea, you have a new friend all the way from Columbus, Ohio. And are you ready for your next piece?
Yes, I am.
Or how did it feel to read after all these months where you've been harassing your students to make them perform?
I'm glad they wasn't here.
You know, they might be listening somewhere. You know, these young folks are smart, can't put nothing past them. How you doing?
They follow me all over social media. So
listen, that Angela said you didn't miss a beat. I'm gonna agree with her.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you.
Okay.
So speaking of the fact that we talked about that I feel like I give birth by being a teacher, a couple of months ago, like I just was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. My father had passed away. There was just everything going on at the school. And one of the assistant principals, they told me, why are you making it hard for yourself? If they turn it in, give them an A. If they don't, give them a 0. This is my response. This is my response. As years of resentment and frustration swelled in my head aches. With pain the doctors can't cure, it just leaves a distaste as I watch the waste of education. For I'm angry. For every Black baby who was pushed through the system so the system could look good, who received honor certificates while others sacrificed the honor of making them work. Some out of misplaced sympathy, thinking their empathy for Black children means helping them is underestimating their ability by refusing to push harder because life has dealt them unfair hands. And the fear of being that blow that may break the bow, but sometimes you have to break things down to build them back up, to remove the corruption, disbelieve the rough, for diamonds are only formed through the hottest and the rough to get the most brilliant cut. You have to bury deep to conceive, and sometimes that means time and pressure until they're ready to erupt. Investing nothing yields only a rumble, causing illusions and predictions without the existence of true manifestation. So when you say, why don't I make it easy for myself? I say if I wanted easy, I would not be here, fighting for them every day, allowing them to hate me because I would rather them hate than love me and know nothing, do nothing, and learn nothing. I could learn less about your GPA, built on regurgitated facts with no ability to think, causing future years of ignorance, choices, and decisions because no one is there to spoon feed you comprehension, to tell you the answer before you awake, lost and confident in your ability to do nothing but copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, providing others the opportunity to shape your fate because you were led to believe that it was okay to just be okay. But when you're at the top of the bottom within society, you will never levitate, believing that your achievements are all that awaits. So when you ask me, why don't I make it easy for myself? I will have to leave because creating brilliant, happy human beings isn't easy. It's a headache. But I'm willing to sign up for this quest if it means there's hope for their future within all of this mess. Thank you.
Oh my God. I know we have some educators because I know y'all. Okay. Let me tell you, that is so on point, especially when the COVID-19 popped off and things were switching over and stuff. Like it was like people stopped investing in the education of the youth. And I know because I teach at a university, I won't say the name, but I remember my first semester on campus teaching, I was kicked out the adjunct office. People did not believe I was the professor. They was like, but you're Black. Why can't I be Black? Why can't higher education look like me? Why can't it be Black, female with dreads? Why can't I rock some Timbs to class sometimes? So we have to keep fighting for not just our children of color, but all these kids. They are so misinformed and they into this. They come to my office. I think I'm here to see a Professor Lewis. I said, are you sure? Can you put your phone down? Then they can't even communicate to you because they're so used to doing this. And so I'm like, hey, what you doing? So I love that. Listen, did you copyright that? Because I'm about to steal it.
Yes, it's in my book. It's in my book and it's on video.
All right, now, everybody give some cyber claps and some love from wherever your state is to my girl, Renee Moss, all the way from Florida. I love you to the day and beyond. You are my poetic sister for life. Oh my God. You remember that time we went to go get some chicken, right? And on the way back, it was a flash flood. And we're like seeing cars floating by, and there was like it was crazy. We get back to her condo, right? The lower level was the garage, completely flooded. There was people standing outside with doormats like this from their cars. Like, we don't know what just happened. And I was like, girl, it's a good thing we went to go get some chicken because your car would have been fucked up too. Okay. next performer for the I Give Birth series. Well, it's not a series, it's a one night epic event. 9 performers, 9 fantastic women performers, 4 states, 2 time zones will be none other than my sister from Newark, New Jersey. Well, she got her government name, but I'm still used to calling you Mia X. So what you want me to do? Mia, government name. Let me unmute you. Let me unmute
Mia X.
Mia X. I have to use her government name. So I want to tell you, okay, earlier today about 1 o'clock, we was in Newark, New Jersey, on the corner of Clinton Avenue and a street. I won't say the number street for safety and protection of the person. But long story short, we ended up doing a pop-up show, a drive-by poetry show for the fabulous Amina Baraka. Am I wrong? And she came outside. We was like, don't come off the porch. Well, Justice was like, don't come off the porch. Don't come near us. We was like 20 feet from her. And we stood in front of her house and we performed and we showed her all the love that we can. So I'm advocating now for pop-up poetry shows for our seniors and for people that we love who can't get out. If anybody want to get down, give me some names and we'll just go one day and just be like, you're going to get this poetry love. Okay. In the state of New Jersey. I can't go to Florida. I can't go to Ohio. I can't go to the Louisiana, Northern New Jersey.
But thank you for coming and putting your poetry, because I love your poetry. It was amazing. The whole day was just magic. I loved it. So,
but let me tell you why I came out, because they had chalk. And we was writing on the sidewalk. You don't know, like whatever your marketing was, the chalk got me. I was like, chalk. But I first met, this is what I remember about you. I don't know where we was. I don't know what we was doing, but I remember you walking into the venue. You had like a tutu on or something, and your hair was up, and you had it wrapped in something, and you was toting these gorgeous babies, and you plopped your babies to the side, and I had an entire conversation with your son like he was like a grown man. Right. And they said, and everyone in the venue was basically helping, taking care, making sure the babies was okay while she was doing her thing. And it was very interactive. It was very, very, it takes a village to raise a child type moment, but it also takes a village to make sure that the person that you love, who is a performer, is able to do her thing. How you doing? Do you remember that night? You probably don't remember that night. We was at the coffee cave.
I was about to say, that was always my night at the coffee cave, because when I would come and I had the kids, everybody would like help me. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's why I'm so thankful to everybody that was there during that time, because, you know, my kids were exposed to the art. You know, all my kids are rappers. They are all rappers right now. Like they play beat battle. What is it? Like a rap battle. That's the games they play. Rap battle. You know, so all of those ciphers and all of that has really impacted my children, and I'm very glad and thankful for the community that helped us. But I wanted to say, like, Bo, you talking about my son Boaz? He's a special child, but during this COVID and everything he had, and I'm not laughing at my child. I just make jokes, but I'm not laughing at my baby. Don't you say I'm laughing at him.
I'm not saying that. You made an observation and now you have a statement.
We're going through it. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to laugh at things. But at that moment, he was really having a moment. He had a breakdown and he was just like, coronavirus is ruining my life. Like that's really what it was. Like I'm talking about drop to his knees. Why? Like you know, I'm like a movie type. And he was just like, I had to call the mobile response for us. I called up the New Jersey Partnership for Change, the New Jersey Kids. I was like, I need y'all to pull up, because my son, he's 8 and he's stressed out because he missed his friends and he want to play football and he don't know what his future is looking like. I'm trying to encourage him. I'm trying to buy him skins on Fortnite. None of that is helping. I need some help, you know, so So he got a therapist. Like we had got him some services, and he would have a call with a beautiful Boricua lady. She was a very Miss Ramirez. She was awesome, and she talked to him once a week. They had great conversations, and she would like lead him on like scavenger hunt. Like she was so awesome with him, and they just got to talk about a better time and put his head in a better space. So that helped me out a lot. Cause having 3 of them and they all want their teachers. He was like, I miss my art teacher. He was like, I want to go to music. I miss my music class. Like he missed all his music classes. He missed his, it was a lot. And I was really I was in lockdown mode. I was like, nobody in, nobody out. Like, no. When that thing happened, I was like, I was in here crying, stressed out. It was hard for me too. But,
not to cut you off, but kudos to you for being strong enough to reach out for help. Yes. I think this notion of mental health, and people and this is just my subjective observation. I haven't done any clinical research, but this is just my observation. It's like it is frowned upon amongst people of color when you say I have a mental health issue. But look at all that we've been through. I mean, it's embedded in our DNA. This trauma is for real. And some mothers would have been like, I don't want nobody to know what's going on inside my home. So for you to have the strength to call and say, I need help from my child, sister, you need a standing ovation. I just want to put that out there, because what you did might have put him on the right track to save his life, because depression is real. Yes. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I was bugging out at one point in time,
It was hard. It was just, it just caught us off guard. It was like one day, one thing was all right, then the next day it was completely different. So it was an adjustment that we all had to make. And it was a lot on me. And I said that, and I'm just sharing with you. I appreciate the platform to even talk about it, because before the coronavirus hit, I was in therapy 3 times a week. I had therapy for me. I had family therapy. I was really trying to get stuff together for my own self. So it was just like a lot for me to have to like shift gears and just be there for my family and be a rock for my family. So it was a lot on all of us. And, we just prayed up, and then I just let our imagination, like my imagination, I feel like it kicked in, and then we're able to do a lot of fun things during the pandemic. Like, I started doing like, farming films on Saturdays, and we would just be entertaining ourselves in the house. So,
it's a significant, unexpected loss. Like life is defined as series of losses, and having COVID-19 come out of nowhere, bam, it disrupted everything from A to Z. And the natural order, kids wants to be with family, kids wants to hang out. Everything you told these kids that they should do is like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So
and it affected them. It was horrible for them. They were very sad. That's what Boaz was saying. He was like, my life is ruined. I can't go play with my friends. I can't do anything. So, but I'll get to this poem. And I love this. I pulled out an old notebook because I wrote this poem. It's dated Saturday, December 20th, 2008. I was pregnant with Teal, my oldest. And I wrote this. So that's why I give birth. Yes. Okay. It says, it is there. It is there. It is there, imprinted in the delicate, decoded lines that compose our unborn child. It is there, tattooed, gift beneath my shoulder. Your presence will never dissolve. There, painted, masterpiece on the ceiling of my chapel. Ring the bell. It is there, resounding with peace and panic. Stenciled along the lifeline of my left hand, I write it there. It was planted near the muck, under my aorta's tongue when I first became a river. I will always swallow you, well up and flow. Beat, my banks have made a commitment to always feel it, feel it. Feel it like the cold cheeks of a dying mother. Feel it like the cool of a hospital floor holding me. When I fell, it was there. I hear it. Sing out a ghetto blaster's hole of a throat. Pretty every Harlem note is heaven. Its melody is sugar. Its lyric is a quote worth story. Etched on a scroll, scribbled in an ancestor's soul on a notebook. It remains on my thigh's psyche. Pierced on every page I visit. It is the wind's cavity, the ache in the ear of a son. I value every recollected vision, every sacred sound. Your shell is the righteousness forever wrapped around my immortal elements. It is there, here. The only thing missing is you. it is there.
Ooh. You know what I also love about you? You are always writing. Like, like when and let me keep it on okay? I know that I have gotten into this routine of doing the same 5 or 6 poems, mostly because, I write a lot of plays and I had a lot of stuff going on. But every time I see you perform, you got like all new shit. I'm somewhat jealous and hating on you just a little bit in a loving way. I just want to put that out there.
I thank you for that, but I still have so much more that I have to release. I have closets full of notebooks because I write every day, and I try to give myself at least 30 minutes to just like flesh it out because I'm always thinking. So I'm filling up notebooks. I'm filling them up. They're gonna find them one day after I'm gone. I don't know, but I'm going to publish as many of them as I can while I'm here. But it's a lot.
Oh my goodness!
Thank God for that. The abundance is real. The abundance.
I'm jealous of your discipline. 30 minutes a day.
It takes something, but you go through it already because I know you're writing all day long because we're thinking. Just gotta put your into it.
So, ladies, if you're hating a little bit just like me, don't hate, participate. Get you a notebook, 30 minutes a day, go for it.
And write go for it. A list will do you. What happened? Just go back over the day. What happened? Start from the beginning. What happened? You woke up. What happened next? You put your shoes on. You brushed your teeth. You went to the track. You ran. Run it back. All right. So this is the last one.
Okay.
Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all. Okay. Number 1. She rose. Up from a crack in the ground, she was torn. Her thorns shine blue under the street light. She grew through and beyond shadows lurking the white black of her mind. Her reality was gray. She needed something silver the way she sang blues every day. She wrote pain away with her smile. Her heart broken in wild pieces of everything. She questioned everything. Her existence gave birth to a resistance shapeshifters couldn't fix themselves to become one with. She gave birth to love. Became one with the idea of one with one word. Her words stood sparkling, colorful, gifts amongst the darkness, glitter in a labyrinth. Her street packed with quiet feelings and silence up too loud. She yells from a window, turn that shit down. She can't hear herself think, can't find herself indistinct. Her hands hot in a sink full of dishes. Dirt, grime, she's known funk. She swam like a pump between 2 fishes. Her time is now, God, how? Her spirit of life. Her love spunk creating itself on sight. What fun, what life when it's squeezing you in your chest. She wars with death while conflict sits on a step, the same step where she sat, tying fabric to a headpiece, trying to get back to peace. Unwrap her place, untangling from the way, struggling to release her mind, her face wrapped in a beat. She claps with her tongue, a rhythm her best hands and feet can feel deep in the pit of her soul. She wants to heal and you don't even know.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
Girl,
y'all. I love y'all so much. I love you and thank you.
If I can plant the seed of this, okay, where's your one person plate, mama? Where's that one person show? I want to put that out there. I want to tell y'all what the people on Facebook are saying that I can see. Alfred Anderson, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Life is a journal. Life journal, journal of life, scribe, poetic, vibrant work. Metropolis, I'm sorry, I know I'm messing up your name. Hooper is saying, right is an exercise, do it daily. This person also said that you are brilliant. How you doing? Brilliant. Hey. Well, why wouldn't she be brilliant? She gives birth. Okay. For those of you who are tuning in right now, my name is Dr. Helena D. Lewis. I'm not a medical doctor. I have my doctorate in clinical social work. We put this show together to talk about the women performers that I knew and people that I didn't know who are mothers in the pandemic, to talk about how we are staying creative, to talk about how we are parenting, to talk about how we are surviving together as an artistic family. So if you're just not joining in, please, we got the chats going on. We got the Facebook thing going on. As to quote Steve Harvey, show your love. Okay. And I'm going to steal something from Amira that I took from her show. If your mic is not muted, then you are in the VIP section. If your mic is muted, you are in the VIP section. So when I say a VIP section, you have anything to say, you can raise a hand and I will unclick you. In fact, I see Joe got his hand up. Let me see if he wants to say something. Hold on. And then Lyric, I'm going to call on you next. Joe, do you want to say something? Oh, now he's lowering his head. Joe going once, Joe going twice, Joe going 3 times. Okay, he came and he went, but he's there. Okay, Queen Moore. Queen, I see that you have some stuff going on with that fabulous baby of yours. If you need to go sooner or later, just let me know so I know what to do. I want to make sure that we are being respectful of your time and of your needs as well. So if you need to, do you want to go early or can you hang out? Okay, Joe is crazy. Okay, Chris, we want to block Joe. We want to block Joe from the things. Okay. Queen Moore. I just want to make sure.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
So we were eating. So I don't know if you want me to spit. Let me know when you want me to.
I want to make sure, because I know you just have to be. I just want to make sure that we're being respectful of your time and your needs as a new mother. So if you need to go sooner or later, just let me know. Okay.
He just eating.
Okay.
Watching the boob.
Okay, we're gonna let him do what he gotta do. Let me tell you, my cousin came to visit me from Malaysia, and I was holding her baby, and all of a sudden the baby started grabbing my breast. I was like, "What's going on?" She was like, "He's hungry." He's like, "I'm so embarrassed. He does it to everyone." I said, "Well, at least he know when he's hungry, but this is dried up. There's no milk coming out of this, my brother." This next sister coming to the microphone, I still call her Lyric. I find it very hard to say Leah, but she will always be Lyric. She will always be the person who has gave me my first feature outside of Bogies. She would be the person who, when my mother died and she found out, she was in my mother's kitchen helping me wash dishes and getting the house together. She's just an all-around fantastic person, an educator. She is a therapist. She has her own private practice. I think you're doing telehealth now. So whatever you want to shout out. And one of the most kick-ass features I've ever seen took place at the Serengeti Plains, which was run by Charles. I don't know where he's at. This was in Montclair, New Jersey, on Bloomfield Avenue. And Lyric was featuring. Lyric had her baby on her hip.
Nikin.
And was doing the freaking feature. I was like, the one day I don't have my video camera. I was like, but I've never saw anything compared to it. And you mad props. Go ahead, Lyric. I'm gonna stop talking.
I'm saying when Niken, who is now 18 years old, my oldest, he was doing exactly what I was like chained. Actually, I was chained to him because he wasn't taking a bottle, so I had to take him everywhere I went. So if I do poetry, here the baby come with me, and he was like. He was on the microphone. He was. I think he was part of the performance. I think when his father came up there, he started doing something. He was a part of that life.
Yes.
So and now he's 18.
Lyric, that was, and I'm not trying to blow your head up because I love you, but it was one of the most fantastic thing I think I've seen since I have been performing. And I have not seen another mother or child or anybody in that circumstances do what you did that day. It was literally like, it wasn't like she thought about it. It was just, baby, hip. I still got to do these poems because I'm the feature.
That's the truth.
This is me bowing to you, my sister.
That's what we do. Thank you, HCL. Look, being a mother, being an artist, it's kind of like all together. And that was my first. So he was going anywhere and everywhere that I was going. And I was still sticking and moving, running and ripping and selling my little chapbooks and my book, and people still wanted to hear from me. So
Okay.
You
So
know,
how are your sons doing now in the pandemic? I know one of them had a graduation and there was like a drive-by honking
Yeah.
of the horn things. Tell us about that.
So I have two beautiful kings, Niken Nechum Onkater and Kai Eyaku. Niken is 18 now and Kai just turned 14. They high school, and then one is rising up from 8th grade up into to high school. So the is going into high school. And the pandemic, I mean, it has completely, I think, changed just in general in terms of how we have to educate our children. And so that what Renee said earlier is that also you turn that to your kids, because my kids, you know, I wasn't seeing them because they would go to school, I would be working, I'd come back, maybe I'd, you know, quick dinner, and then I'm out. I'm in the bed. I don't want to hear, I don't want to talk, nothing. And now it's like they are here and I'm like, okay, we have to engage. We have to talk. We have to watch some documentaries. We got to have discussions. And I think that I learned a lot in this last couple of months about how much I was disconnected, because when they're little, when they're young, you're really in it. And then as they become older, you're kind of like, who is this person? You know, who are you? I don't even know you, you know? So both of my sons have very interesting personalities. You know, they're their own people. So I just, I think I'm learning how to parent them in a way that I wasn't. And with education being like, you know, the number one thing for me in terms of like just knowing your history and them understanding certain things about our lives. Just but they've been pretty good, you know. This virtual learning experience is not always that great for people with for children with special needs. So my oldest, you know, is has high functioning autism, and you know, he's been like thriving, and he's gone out taking his bike out, going, you know, for bike rides and things like that. But he's been thriving, and I've been really surprised and pleasantly surprised at his interaction. Now, the youngest one, that's Kai, you know.
That's my baby.
I know that's your baby, that's your boyfriend. And you know, what Mia X was talking about in terms of just with so you know, education for me started at home with my father, with my mother. And now we're in a place that there's nowhere to go. You know, I can't go nowhere, you can't go nowhere. So now we're here. And what are we going to do with that time? And you know, I used to be envious of a lot of my friends that did art projects with their kids. So I couldn't get my kids to sit down and look at me for 10 minutes. But now, you know, they're my captive audience. I'm like, oh, you want to eat? Okay, well, before I make food, this is what I want you to do. I want you to read this article and tell me 4 things that you learned about this person in this article.
Before they could eat?
Before they can eat. That's right.
Gangster.
Listen, it's that or take the chargers.
Yeah.
All their equipment. I'm like, I'm queen of the charger. You know, that they call it, I'm a little sadist, you know. It's like, you can't charge your phone. You can't play on your PlayStation without this.
It sure enough is an adjustment. I know, like, you know, for me, you know, because I didn't stop working. You know, I've been in the trenches since all this started. But to come, like I am now, I call it, I'm a daughter parent. Like, you know, my father is 92. I got to take care of him. I got to make sure he's okay. He was stressing me out. Like, we had arguments over, no, you can't leave this house. And then I called myself trying to make sure he wasn't leaving. He got away from me. Then I had to take his keys. I was like 92, 18,
Listen,
8 years old. Like, everybody is bugging out. You know,
flip the script.
But what I wanted to say before you do your 2 poems is, I still don't have your book.
Stop it. This one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so
you ain't gotta explain it. Just do your
wants to
2
put me on
poems.
blast. She always wants to put me on blast when anytime there's a public forum and she has a microphone, but she don't really need a microphone. If you know Dr. Lewis, she doesn't really need a microphone. I told her that I wasn't selling her one of my books. I didn't say I wasn't gonna give her one.
It was estrogen discrimination.
She thought that I said I wasn't. I said I'm not gonna sell you a book. Well, I'm gonna sell you my homie, my girl. I'm gonna give you a book. No. So and my partner was like, first of all, art is not free. Art is not free. So I do have my chapbook, and I do have Cash App, Helena D. Lewis, and I do know where you live, so I could just throw it up on the porch, and
the principle.
Daddy opens the door.
I to you with the money in my hand. You refused to sell me the book. You sold it to KO. Where is the estrogen love? But you know what? This is not about that. This is about you tonight.
It's about being a mother, being an artist. And I think that this is very important because as mothers, one of the things that when you're an artist, and I was writing poetry writing plays, poetry, everything before I even thought of having children, before all of that. And sometimes you sacrifice a little bit. So right when I had my son, I had the first, that's when like the Deaf Poetry was coming out and all of my peers appeared on Deaf Poetry. I'm home with the baby because I can't get out there and do my little, shaking and moving. And it's really difficult sometimes to stop and say, I have to do this, because you do make sacrifices as a mother. And I did, have to put a couple of things on the back burner because he needs diapers.
Mm-hmm.
I need a place to live, all of those things. So they are my creation. They are my art. And if anything about being a mother and being an artist and an educator, counselor, all of those things kind of go around with nurturing. And as long as I'm around, anybody who's in my cipher is going to get nurturing. And that's very important to me because we don't have that love, naturally, that we don't see that a lot. We don't see that humanity. So I hope that we keep having these conversations about mothers, especially mothers who are artists and all types.
And Lyric, for some strange reason, I want to say that you are, am I saying this correctly? A doo-wah? Am I saying that right? No?
What? I'm a
doo-wah? The people who help the people give birth? That's not.
No, I'm not a doula. No.
Doula. Okay, never mind. But
no,
let me just say, I support that, because sometimes.
And look, Erykah Badu is a doula.
Okay.
She's a working doula. No, I had a doula. And I'm like Miss Butterfly McQueen in Gone with the Wind.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
I don't know nothing about birth. No, now I'm a licensed therapist in the state of New Jersey. My business is called Elysium Outreach and Connections, where I do provide mental health services. We do take insurance, but I also do education, workshops, presentations, and I definitely am going to be adding that artivism in there. So you have to, everything kind of like comes together, but that was the big step for me is I was like, look, Mia's just said, you have to reach out, but sometimes when you reach out, you want to make sure that the people who are receiving you understand not just your culture, but understand who you are and can support you in the right way. Because people who are there to receive some of our folks, they ain't doing it.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Well, we ready. Lay it on us. You reading from the book that I don't have, right?
Yes,
okay.
I'm reading from the book that you don't have. But you've heard this poem. You've heard these poems a couple of times. But one of the things Reg used to always say that he tells that story about Amiri Baraka talking about, there's no old poems you know, because he said, oh, I wrote this poem like 8 months ago. And Mary said, well, I'm about to read a poem that I wrote 25 years ago. And, you know, it's still fire. All right. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat. Uzis, bazookas, shotties, 9mm. Nobody move, nobody get hurt unless your hair is like lamb's wool and have feet of bronze. They shooting like some gangster movie. Dutch Schultz, Bugsy Malone, and all them non-law abiding citizens. They have silver now and put up blue walls of silence. Chris made it plain, overseer, 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 officer, 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 with justice too blind to see that race is always the issue now. If you fit the descriptions, bullet holes will be used at target practice, shooting warning shots into torsos and ripping through flesh without warning. Names that are famous and anonymous. 441-9, Amadou Diallo. 50, Sean Bell. 1-4, Trayvon Martin. 3-6, Jordan Davis. 2-1, Tamir Rice. 3-2, John Crawford III. Numerous and never ending, leaving holes in Black men who are guilty of living with melanin genetics, the ability to dilute weakening genes. Names that can be rattled off like baseball averages, long lists of numbers and names. A melancholy lullaby to my heart. I am conjuring a spell to rework chromosomes and DNA, switching double helixes and turning them inside out, manifesting visions of peaceful soldiers who will not need armor. For evolution to create a new race, I am going to give birth to bulletproof Black boys. I am going to make superhuman babies that will not die. They multiply and multiply and multiply till all you see is Black. Scared of Black men? You should be scared of me. Because my womb will produce Blackberry boys with stubborn skin that bend and stretch, impervious to metal bullets always aiming at Black skin. Bulletproof babies to make up the national deficit of Black men being killed off for sport and practice. I am Eve, rewriting destiny with comic book heroes as my way to revolt. It starts with a lab, and I, the mad scientist, will make a way for my men to live forever. Be the tempest swell, be the Yemaya who bend the neurons and ions to my will. Black babies bouncing bullets. Black babies bouncing bullets. Black babies bouncing bullets. This my mantra. I respond 9 times, 3 ways in all 4 directions, bringing balance to this earth, reversing the plans of greedy ignorance, protecting and serving. Who? No news story leading with Black man mistaken as suspect criminal, shot and killed at the hands of John Q. Law because he had the wrong color, wrong place, wrong time disease. Fox News will go into overdrive trying to spin a way around Black boys stopping bullets with their skins. Middle America need not worry, because bulletproof babies don't want war, but peace. These bulletproof Black babies who be bouncing bullets back. No longer will I watch or wait or count until they finish us off, 1 by 1, 2 by 2. Say it with me. Black babies bouncing bullets. Black babies bouncing bullets. Black babies bouncing bullets. Black babies bouncing bullets. It's happening already.
Wow, Larry, let me tell you what people are saying about you on Facebook. Blackbird Fly is like, oh, that line, my soul just cried. the power and that reputation. Yes, get it, poet. And we have Francine Stroller, who is saying, I'm enjoying this from Whitehall, New York. And isn't it a shame that we have to have different conversations with our young men of color? I remember maybe a semester or two before I got out of the doctoral program, I'm having a conversation with some of the students that were in my cohort. And, you know, I was the only one person, a female of color, who graduated in my cohort, and there was another brother. And how we have to have different conversations about being stopped by the police when you are a person of color. You know, and I think it's sad. It's like, you know, it's 2020 and we're still fighting these same battles over and over again, you know.
It's the injustice. I wrote that poem in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to rework it in certain places, specifically with the names. And it really, I'm like, it's still relevant. And I was going to make this. Now I know nothing about comics books, except that I know that I was like, you know, I'm gonna make this comic. I'm gonna make this comic book hero. He's gonna be impervious to bullets, and he's gonna be, you know, out in the hood saving, you know, all the black kids and for, you know, all this stuff. This is 2008. Don't ask me. So it was like I had a movie idea, but I wrote this poem because. Not just because I'm a mother of sons, but because, and I can't even tell you all the women and the girls, black girls and women that are going, you know, that have been murdered by the police.
Yeah, say her name. You know, you curated the
Breonna
show.
Taylor, just, you know, so it is a conversation that unfortunately we have to have
for our own safety, well-being, and protection.
Yes. So
I'm sorry, Lyric, but in the interest of time,
okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Queen Moore up next, ladies.
Okay.
What you do? Okay, Lyric, what you do? Okay, Queen Moore. Look at this beautiful sister here with this beautiful baby. I just wanna like I'm so mad that I can't like love up on the baby in person. But I love the videos you've been posting, and I'm glad to see that you are healthy and well. And because you are one of our newer mothers, if you can, or if you even feel comfortable sharing, you know, maybe some experiences you had, given, not like the whole delivery, like what was your interactions with your doctors as you was going through this process of giving us our next king?
Well, good evening, and thank you, ladies. Thank you to all of y'all. Y'all, birth or no birth, you know, you still birthing something, so I think it's beautiful. Thank you for having me, Dr. Lewis.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you.
Birth for me was always something I was afraid of. Like my mother, her sex talk was very weird when I was a kid. She was just like, you go ahead and get pregnant and catch AIDS and die if you want to. I ain't taking care of that baby. And I'm like, what? Like, what order is that supposed to go in? Like, how am I supposed to? Okay, never, I'm not doing nothing.
Look at Lyric's face.
Right. It took me until I got to 36. I said right before my 36th birthday, if I don't get pregnant and have a baby by then, because I had suffered from some miscarriages and some other things, you know, and going through my adulthood process, being a woman and thinking you in love and falling out of love and moving in with a joker. I almost said something else, you know, and then just realizing like, there's nobody here to still tell me what I need to be doing at 25, at 27. And then the right person came along, and then he came along, and it was 3 months. It was 3 months before my 36th birthday. God is funny, he's very funny. And I was worried about having a kid at 36, you know, not because of my age, particularly with having a child, but because my knees are old. And I'm like, I'm not running after no toddler. I can't do it. I'm not doing that. I'm bending down, running, catching, playing ball. No. So I was actually told when I went to St. Barnabas, shout out to St. Barnabas and their failures, that I was having a miscarriage. The pain that I was having was actually implantation. If I think I'm right, I'm still trying to get all the jargon down as far as pregnancy. they're like, no, you're suffering from a blighted ovum. And no, you're not. You're gonna lose the baby. You're gonna see some bloodshed in a couple of days, and take some Midol or some Motrin or whatever. I went for a second opinion, and I found this beautiful doctor in Maplewood, Dr. Parchment. She's so beautiful in spirit. And I didn't know that I had met her 3 times before at a
Can
family
I just
Jamaican
shout?
barbecue.
Dr. Parchment delivered my last. She is the bomb. Me.
Bomb
she held me while they gave me the spinal tap.
Yes, she did the same thing. I'm sorry. Yes, Leah, she did the same thing. Okay. See, we on the same page. So I didn't know I met this woman 3 times prior to at a family barbecue, at a friend's barbecue. It was a Jamaican barbecue at that. So, you know, she was over there grooving. One of my friends was like, oh, you need a new person. I heard you were miscarrying. And I said, yeah. So he gave me Dr. Parchment's number. He said, you want to meet her? And I'm like, where? How do I get in touch? He said, that's her over there by the grill, just partying, drinking around. So my OBGYN to be was at this party. And then from there on, when I went into my scheduled appointment 3 weeks later, after they told me I had a blighted ovum, she put the ultrasound thing on and tested my urine and all that and said, oh, you're 7 weeks pregnant. I said, get out of here. How they get there? They told me I ain't the one nothing down there. She said, well, they're wrong. And yeah, so then they called me maybe like 6 weeks later, told me I was having the boy that I always wanted. So it was trying. I felt alone in that pregnancy. And not because I didn't have a partner, like shout out to my beloved fiance Trevor, but he doesn't get it. Like when we're women and we're pregnant, I didn't know I was gonna need that support because I'm used to doing everything on my own. Like I'm on my own type of woman, and I'm a Virgo, so that's very difficult. And I felt very alone because my mother was in another state. Hey, Virgos, all that top row, all that top energy up there. So I felt very alone, but then, you know, it forced me to figure out like, this is what I've been afraid of, but this is what I always said I wanted. And I think as women, we're always forced to have a plan and to know, and all these books I bought on Amazon, and none of that worked out that way that I read in the books. None of it. So
I love the story of you meeting your future OBGYN at the barbecue. You know, and I think that there was something I saw a couple of weeks ago about a young lady who was having brain surgery, and when she woke up, whatever hair she had left, the doctor had braided it. And come to find out, but he was worried that, you know, she was going to be out for a while and she didn't want it to get tangled. And he was a person of color. He had children and he wanted to make sure her hair was okay, you know. And I was like, that's the type of love that we all need. Like, we need that love of that caring. You know, you don't got to cross no ethical boundaries, but just care enough for the person that you see in front of you to say they are a human being and they are deserving of my time, because, you know, they should have the best, you know. And so I'm so happy that you and Lyric was able to find this amazing OBGYN, and shout her out, put her information down, because, you know, if you're in the northern New Jersey area, maybe there's some other women need to get a hold of her. You know, but Queen, from what I see, I saw you have been glowing. I saw the ceremony. I seen the pregnancy pictures. I seen the videos, and motherhood looks good on you, Mama. And don't you let nobody else tell you otherwise. The doctor has spoken. Is there anything else you want to share before you do your 2 poems?
Well, something small. Shout out to all the educators. I'm also a teacher. I'm an art. So now the importance of my job has really been magnified, because, you know, before people just looked at art teachers as, oh, you don't need art, you know, it's secondary. But I've had a lot of parents reach out to me and find me on Facebook and Instagram and follow me saying, you got some coloring pages for my son? My son is like banging his head on the wall. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
You got.
Oh no, she froze. Okay, she unfroze. Go ahead.
I'm unfroze. I'm good.
You unfroze. Yes, the power of art therapy. Like, and if anyone read your bio, like, she is in it. Like, she is in it to win it. She is licensed. She's doing it. You just got a grant or something recently, and there's like, you know, there's power in art. I just started a poetry group at my job for the clients, and they just came in strolls and pouring their hearts out. So yes, Queen, art therapy is so important, and I'm so glad that you're doing this for our people and for our community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you used to do that downtown Newark, because I saw you. I was at your one of your shows, and you had you were doing social work, I think downtown, or at a performance, and you said you did some poetry with some of your social work clients.
Yeah, when I go to the main prison, I perform, like when they have orientation about the programs, I perform. I've never performed on site. So this was my first time getting them together and talking to them about poetry and performing and the business of poetry, because a lot of them have like stories they want to share about their incarceration, and I want to make sure they take it to the next level. They don't get taken advantage of. So yeah. It's the ladies are loving it, and I'm like, dag, I should have done this a long time ago, but I was afraid of it, you know.
All right, well, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do it, Queen. Ooh, ooh, do it, mama. Ooh, ooh.
So I got my baby on my hip, and I'm questioning if I know what's gonna come out of my lip. What should I say now? I've taken the time to put flowers in my headband because I need to see the light going forward. How beauty impacts my soul. My son stares into my eyes like it's the deepest thing he'll ever experience in his whole life. You see, I didn't take time to write this down. This be a freestyle, kind of like giving birth when you're wild and alone, when you're giving wild birth, when you're giving wild birth and your water breaks bedside. Who's there to wake you in the middle of the night when you're screaming? And they want to up your dosage and tell you that you've been dripping and losing fluid that you need to hold on to. But somebody come give me some loving and nourishment, reacquire my, don't touch my hair if I say you can't ask. My son looks for questioning. He wants to know, who is this being that is holding me? Who is she? Who is she? What is dangling from her ears and her perspective? I need to feel her face. I need to grab her flesh. He be pulling at my breasts, and sometimes it ain't filled up with milk, but it's filled up with knowledge and proof of self. I gotta give it to him and pass it to my child. My brother would be calling while I'm spitting his poem, but he just got declined, messing up my style. Okay. So that was just a little warm up. I had to get out of my way a little bit. So
girl, you are the queen of the freestyle. I seen you freestyle at, what was the name of the old Euphoria when they renamed it? You was just coming out of steps, just like banging it. I'm so jealous. I'm hating a little bit, but
it's just my experiences, and I try to beautify it, put some blush on it, and send it out.
Girl, you're doing it. You're doing it.
That's all. So this is the real work right here, though. This is the time right here. So give me a second. Okay. So I've watched the trees shake in the mighty wind, resembling the tall dancers with bended backs from the tribes of our ancestors were stolen from. You see, this ain't a breeze that you want to inhale, with the stench of blood of your people as it fills the air wrapped around the coils in your hair. I'd give the breath in my chest for a do-over, to see where and what I came from. A woman called Vandina 4 generations ago, and it ain't these gray skies that they be referring to as paradise. And the silver linings, what am I to tell my son? That the rain hitting the roof is God washing his hands of us? He would never, she would never. Whoever it is would never leave us open and afraid. But then I desire to know what did God want from me? From the people, from the sisters, from the brothers, from the preachers, from the school teachers, from all of us that were all shades of beauty that is baked under the sun. Our talks of ourselves needed to change. They needed to be beautifully different. Something like, hey, yo, my black is all that in 2 bags of kale and plantain chips, coconut oil on the backs of my knees and elbows, hot grease and sunshine from the clouds I fell, yo. While the moon was out, skin kissed by God's oven next to Neptune, I be chilling though, but placed here on earth cause I got shit to shovel and shift and blessings to follow. I don't got time for the lower line, I'm an uppercase G. I've been stepped on, I've been refused, I've been forgotten and abused, and I was created to chase down the revolution with my man on my hip. Next tell, innocence in my eyes and bullets in my grip. I got magic for days, and I ain't about that dumb shit in days on end. I ain't even take off my crown to sleep, because that would be a sin. Come find me in the hood if you trying to do right by black folks and do good. I say, do good like Johnny Cake's neck bones and peas. Come get you some. Signed a queen, honey butter, toffee type woman.
Ooh, queen. Do it, do it, do it.
That's the one.
Mother.
This is for all the ladies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is for all the ladies that I see here that I've been impacted by. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. You see, because I'm a woman, a fire-toting woman, a backbone woman, an 80s woman, a he can't let go of me type woman, a palo burning woman, a mother to your son, and a red dress wearing woman, a flowers in my locks type woman, and an oil wearing woman, an artist woman, a teaching woman, a birthing woman, a gravy from scratch if you want it like that type woman, a crystal stone healing woman, a wild walking, dirty mouth talking, a tasteful type woman with a thick ass walk type woman, a learning woman, a traveling woman, a soul music woman in my soul type woman, a trap house dance all night to my trap house music type woman, a poet woman, a watching my son sleep so peacefully type woman, a whiskey drinking woman, a leader in my hood type woman, a corner store with a base head juice and a turkey on white bread type woman, a badass woman, a dancing woman and an adventurous woman, a mothering woman to all the kids that ain't mine type woman, a try me if you want a woman, a tattooed body type woman, a decent woman, a praying woman, a cultured woman, a jazz type woman, a healthy woman, a no wearing panties if I don't want to woman, a spiritual woman, a forgiven and forgiving woman, because there's a difference woman, a performing woman, a fruit eating woman, a headdress wearing woman, and a family woman on Sunday woman, a gown wearing woman, a nursing woman, a djembe bumping barefoot in my living room woman, a yo daddy's kind of woman, a machete swinging woman if I got a type woman, a better woman, a once molested woman, a maturing woman and a chanting woman, a winning multilingual mad woman, a sisterhood woman, a stretch mark before I had a kid, yo woman, a welcoming home woman, a cornbread from scratch making woman, a house music woman and a stolen innocence at one point in my life woman, a solid woman, a don't speak when you ain't spoken to woman, a hot comb on a gas stove if the electricity goes out type woman, a gifted woman, a once had my heart broken woman, a once had an abortion type woman, a left at the altar woman, a revolutionary and a paying for insurance that doesn't fully cover all my insides and my entire vagina type woman. You better not sniff my food woman, a curly headed woman and a meant to raise your children right woman, a healed and constantly healing woman, a legacy bearing woman, a don't talk with your mouth full type woman, a brown woman, a toffee color go get it in your cup woman, and I don't care, go get your mama, I'll beat her ass too if I have to type woman, a don't go in my pots woman, a seasoned woman, a wash your clothes out by hand on your knees the same way I ask God for forgiveness, most of all black woman type woman. I am a woman, a spitting poems to my son on my lap during Helena D. Lewis's New Eurekan poetry type feature type woman, who was screaming through contractions that reflect the arguments I've had with myself for making poor decisions type woman, and all that woman, a black woman, a universal woman who loves black women, a needing a black man type woman, a womb man, a womb man. I'm a woman.
Ooh, Queen, give it up. Let me tell you, you're getting your accolades here on the Facebook live stream too. I'm getting Blackbird Fly say, oh, Queen, that's a hell of a piece. Thanks for sharing such a raw and beautiful poem. And everybody else is like, lyric, you right there. You think about saying, you the bomb. Yes, you are. All right, y'all. Oh my God. Oh, you know, well, we need stuff like this, you know, in the pandemic, to be able to share our art. I'm just loving it. All right, now Queen had to go. You know, she had to take care of the mommy feeding duties, and we ain't hating. So I'm calling to the Zoom cyber mic, Rachel Finley. And might I say, I am so thankful. I'm gonna ask to unmute her. I'm so thankful that when I put this request out, because, you know, when I had things in my head, I often type it on Facebook, and I was like, is there anybody on Facebook that's giving birth that would be interested in doing this show? And Lyric tagged you on the post, and you was like, yeah, I'll do it. And you've been thinking about something, and I was like, then I read your bio, and I was like, was like, wow. I was like, women are doing it up. So, educator, mother, activist, all around nice person. I'm just going to say that because you know Lyric, and Lyric only hangs around all around nice people. So, Rachel, thank you so much. I wish that we were meeting under different circumstances, but I feel honored and privileged to have you as part of this show. I Give Birth, which is part of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe online series that I have been producing and coordinating. So how are you doing, and what's the weather like in your part of the universe?
Well, I just moved to Arizona, so it's extremely hot. Temperatures above 110 every day since I've been here. I'm doing very well. I'm really grateful right now that, despite the fact that this pandemic is going on, and unfortunately I have lost some people that I care about, and I have had people that are very close to me who have fought this virus, but that there are still so many positive things happening as well. And so I try not to drown in the sad things that are happening, but to rejoice in the positive as well, giving each its time, because I think it's important to have both acknowledgement of the negative things and joy for the positive that's going on in your life. So I just started a new position. I am an assistant professor of acting at Arizona State University.
Okay, kudos.
My first tenure track position. I'm very excited to be starting that off. And I also just recorded a one-woman show done digitally for Gable Stage, which is going to be part of their Engage at Gable Stage. It will premiere on September 4th.
All right. And I just want to add that less than 5% of the people who are professors or tenure professors are people of color. So I just want to say, do your thing. If there's anything I can do for you in my part of the town, just let me know. I support all educators regardless of their color, because we just need we need people who care, for our young folks. Okay. And I'm looking forward to hearing your work. One thing before you start, how is it over there with COVID-19 in your area? Like, are your numbers going up? They're going down? Or they're like skyrocket? Are people wearing masks? Tell me about Arizona.
Yeah, so I was in South Florida. I just got here, but so far what I have found here is that yes, this definitely is a hot spot. The numbers, they say, are starting to go down, that it's now to the point where for each person that's infected, they're likely to infect less than one person. So that means the numbers start to go down, right? So that's a good thing. Some people are wearing masks. Some people are very defiant about it for God knows what reason. Like, I can't understand. I cannot wrap my brain around that. How does it hurt you to wear a mask? Even if you don't believe in it, if you make somebody else feel better by wearing it, how hard was it? If you can make somebody else's day better with something so simple. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I have a son who's in the military, and he's right now in boot camp, and there has been an outbreak in boot camp as well. Even though they've been really trying to keep things on lockdown there, but they've experienced it even there. So this is really something that even in a very controlled environment is still hard to keep a handle on. But yeah, that's kind of how it is out here.
Wow. I know I was hanging out with Mia earlier today for Hug the Block, and we bumped into somebody that we knew, and the brother tried to shake my hand. I squirted hand sanitizer in it. Other than that's not happening here.
Yeah.
I'm inmates, and I got to take care of my father.
Yeah, you got to be careful because it's just too easy to spread it.
Yes. Okay. All right. Are y'all ready? The people who are not in Arizona for the one, the only Rachel Finley. Woo! I'm so excited. I love hearing new poets.
Just to give you a little introduction to the poem that I'm going to share. This poem was written largely, because of some of the things I was going through, but also because Maya Angelou was one of my big influences. I had the great pleasure of meeting her when I was 5 years old, and I didn't know anything about her at the time, other than that she was this towering woman who was, for me, the image of how majestic and how powerful a woman and a Black woman could be. So I'm going to just, start off this poem. And the poem is entitled, I Will Rise. I have known what it is to taste the same dirt between my teeth that I once squeezed between my toes and commanded with my plow, to be burnt by the same flames that once lit my pathway home, to be denied the very sunlight that once kissed my skin brown and blushed my cheeks. I have known what it is to walk alone in darkness, to have my newborn ripped from my arms and watch him clumsily rocked by those that would rename him their own. I have known what it is to be a shadow, an apparition, a ghost, a boogeyman, an apparition, an imaginary friend, a character in someone else's dreams, and the boogeyman of another's nightmares, a myth, a fable, a cautionary tale, a dwarf beneath the foot of a giant, a pink swirl in a sea of blue lines, a black spot on the white linens, an unwelcome guest at my father's table side, fighting the dog for the crumbs that roll off. I have made feast of hunger, quenched thirst with tears, sashayed to the song of my sorrows, and made ladders out of the very rope that once decorated my throat. I have escaped from deeper rabbit holes than this. I will not give up, and I will not go down. Though my feet be planted in quicksand, I will rise. Elephant perched on my left shoulder, rhinoceros on my right. I will not give up. I will not go down. I will rise. Hands tied behind my back, muzzle over my teeth. I will fight through a barrage of bullets. Though I be but flesh, I will fight. I will not go down. I will not give up. I will rise. My mother named me Little Lamb. The eyes of men renamed me Little Whore. My virginity was stolen from my womb like the 6-week-old fetus I wasn't ready for. I have since renamed myself Diva, Shira, Storm, Catwoman. I have renamed myself Artemis, Hua Mulan, Jane Eyre, Sula Katniss, Janie Crawford. I have renamed myself Hatshepsut, Theodora, Suiko, Pocahontas, Sacagawea, Sojourner Truth. I have renamed myself Margaret Thatcher, Hovita Idar, Shirley Chisholm, Zitakala Sa. I have renamed myself Tina Turner, Nednokawa, Sonia Manzano, Sachin Littlefeather. I have renamed myself Cher, Shaka Khan, Ellen Ochoa, Margaret Chan, Gloria Estefan. I have renamed myself Oprah Winfrey, Hillary Diane Rodham, Chelsea Mentorn, Yingluck Shinawatra, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, Malala Yousafzai, Maya Angelou. I have renamed myself Fury, as in hell hath none like mine. I renamed myself Forgiveness, as in you can't move forward while wearing hatred as a tether to the past. I renamed myself Strength. I renamed myself Resilience, Fortitude, and Intellect. I renamed myself Unity, Sisterhood, and Friendship. They use only 3 letters to describe themselves, yet chose 5 to describe me, because even they know that I am more. But I will choose my own description. I am no man's whore. I am my own woman.
Oh my God. You know what, when they be like, go in, poet, you went all the way in. And what a history lesson on powerful, empowering, and women. Like the list just went on, and I love the reference to Storm from the for X-Men, you know, because I'm like, that's why Storm was the bad mofo. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, thank you. I don't know if you can see what I see, but everybody is shaking and snapping and like, yes. And Blackbird Fly, who is now my unofficial co-host on Facebook, is saying, well said. Woo! Thank you for my, I'm excited about the second piece. Give me more.
All right, so we're going to go into the second piece. And the second piece is entitled Black Girl Magic, or Be Magic Black Girl. And this poem was written just about a year ago. And again, about some of the issues that we deal with. So, Be magic, Black girl. Be sugar and spice and sweet potato pie. Be cornbread and collard greens and baked macaroni and cheese. Be potato salad and gravy smothered green beans. Be sweet grilled corn dripping with butter. Keep that body tight. Have a fat ass and a big heart. Stay fit and fine. Be magic, Black girl. Be independent. Be assertive. Be the boss. Don't make yourself be single now. You gotta know how to let a man be a man. You don't always gotta run shit. Be magic, Black girl. Make him feel like a king. Nurture his potential at your round, supple, perky teat. Stifle your own dreams. Don't let a man walk all over you. He can only do what you let him do. Choose better. Be magic, black girl. Be baby mama without the drama. Even if he only pays child support when other people are watching. Even if he never pays it all. Don't be a man hater. Don't take him to court and garnish his wages. Do you know how hard things are for men? Be magic, black girl. Be the sole provider. Be both mother and father to your child. Don't make excuses. Be magic. Make magic. See, that's why black women can't find husbands. The government pushed the black man out of the house with welfare. He made it so black women don't need black men. Be magic, black girl. Don't need anyone. Don't ask for help. It makes you look weak. Don't look weak. Why you always act so hard? How's a man gonna connect with you if you live inside a brick wall? Can no man find you if you're sitting at home? Don't sit at home. Don't run the streets. Be magic, black girl. Be strong. Be patient. Be sweet. Be kind. Be sassy. Be sexy. Be hot. Be voluptuous. Be a freak in the sheets. Ride nice dick in your head, priceless. From the windows to the wall. Be a fantasy. Be a fetish. Be magic, black girl. Don't get loud. Don't roll your eyes or your neck, only your hips. Don't suck your teeth. Don't purse your lips unless it's to kiss. Don't kiss too much. Don't be a thought, slut, hoe with your fat ass. Don't sigh too loud. Don't talk too white. Talk hood. No, not that hood. Don't talk hood. Don't talk too white, though. Just don't talk. Be magic, black girl. Move in silence. Sit still and wait on God. Stand up and make something happen. Be greater than your circumstances. Don't forget where you came from. We all know where you came from and who you came with. Don't come too often, black girl. Maybe just don't come at all. Put his needs first. Don't be a lesbian. You just haven't had the right man yet. Don't act oppressed. Remember, you are too blessed to be stressed. Remember, you are descended from kings and queens, empresses and emperors, the cradle of civilization. Remember where you came from, black bitch. We all know where you came from, nigga queen. Don't get too uppity. Don't forget your place. Remember to be grateful for the crumbs. Remember your ancestors didn't have what you've got. Remember where you came from. Remember Jim Crow. Remember lynching. Remember you're on Section 8. Remember you're on food stamps. Remember my tax dollars pay your kids' doctor's bills. Remember why you came, where you came from, black bitch. Be magic, black girl. Make peace with your enemy. Love thy neighbor as yourself. Turn the other cheek. Leave it all in God's hand. Praise God. Lift up his church. Be faithful to his servants. Never mind that time when you were 14 and pastor's hand found its way up your skirt at the Bible study retreat. Keep your faith, black girl. Dance with the Holy Ghost, black girl. Never mind the fact that your daughter is 14 and pastor invited her to the Bible study retreat. Be grateful, black girl. She could be out there running them streets. You could be out there running them streets. Sing hallelujah, black girl. Don't shout. Make a joyful noise. But no matter what you do, don't be angry. Don't be crazy. Don't be the angry black woman. Be magic, black girl. Be magic. Be everything. Be nothing. Be anything. Anything at all but human.
Damn! Yo!
I'm sorry, I have to come off of mute for
Wow.
Wow.
I was riding with you, right? Oh my gosh.
That is the new anthem right there, boy.
That was powerful. And I love the way.
Wow. Anybody else want to come off mic? Raise your hand. Amira.
That was oh my God.
That was some next level stuff right there. Let me see. Diana, you want to say something?
I'm off mic. Doctor, I'm off mic.
Oh God, Amira, I know as when she was like 10 sentences in, I said, I know Amira has something that she wants to say about this. I know,
Well,
I know.
First of all, you know very well. I'm sitting there going, dang, I got to get her contact information because you know where we need her on When Women Speaks platform. Because she's on that. She's telling those stories that every woman needs to hear and connect with. I love both pieces. Thank you.
Oh,
love her,
powerful.
I love her style.
You know how you'll be going one way and then it'll be like, whoop, the hands up the thigh or something. Be magical. You said
know what?
So many
Yeah.
different things. Queen,
Love,
Diana, what you
love
got
her
to say?
style. Love her style. Love her style.
Yes, yes. Queen.
I love the dirty, inappropriate, appropriateness
Yes.
of it. I just love it. I
Yes.
love it. And he loved it too.
Yeah. Rachel, I am
you.
so
Thank you.
thankful that Lyric tagged you and that you took the time out of your busy schedule, because we're all busy and I know that everybody had to make some sacrifices and arrange some things for me to do this. So I want to thank everybody from the bottom and to the top of my heart. And you know my motto is, if there's anything I can ever do for you, I ain't got no money, but I got crazy free advice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And coming to the stage, well, the Zoom universe. It's so hard for me not to say stage. We have Angela, and then we're gonna have my girl Jaleesa. I'm missing one of my performers. I don't know if this is you, iPhone, with the number privately. Let me know if this is you, because I want to get you in. Okay, Angela, you ready? I see you was bobbing and nodding and
the whole time. Listen, our audience members, you know what I mean? We're in it together. You got to give the energy, get the energy. It's a two-way street. You know what I mean? So.
And please, everybody, put your info in the chat. I see Rachel got her info. Lyric shouting out her book that I don't have. You know,
I got it.
The wounds. Let me take this knife out.
I got the book.
See, okay, see, I don't like
All right.
when, you know, you both of you are ganging up.
I'm just saying, I'm not ganging up. I'm just saying I have the book. I have the book.
And Lyric, you can't say nothing because I got you muted. So we're gonna talk about you whether you like it or not. And Miss Angela, I can't wait for the people into the Zoom universe and the cyberspace to hear you. You know, and my co-host Blackbird Fly is on here, so I can't wait to see what my co-host has to say as well. Okay. And wait a minute, and how is your darling children doing in the middle of all of this drama?
Eva is 12. You know, it's rough. I don't know how to help her. That is just, and Penny is 5. It's a little different. Like they both miss their friends. They both don't know what's going on. I'm having a real hard time balancing between being oppressive and not being oppressive, you know, like what can they do? What can't they do? How much are they going to watch of this? What are we going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just having a really hard time balancing that, but we're okay. They're healthy. We're together. We don't need anything right now, so we're gonna get through it. You know.
All right.
That's a lot. That puts me somewhere. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. All right.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here. I'm very lucky.
Glad you're here, and I'm glad that I can mute Lyric.
This is 2020 American Jesus. If Jesus were alive today. There was supposed to be a celebration for baby Jesus's birthday. The 3 wise men didn't make it. There was a travel ban suddenly imposed for certain countries in the East. Their gifts were confiscated. TSA workers kept the gold. There was a government shutdown. Working without pay clouds your judgment. Baby Jesus would grow up seeing his mother Mary sink in and out of a deep depression. She and Joseph worked tirelessly to make ends meet. She was shamed for going to work too soon because the United States has no maternity leave policy, and 3 weeks postpartum is all they could afford. As he grows, she does her best to hide her fear, the fear that she feels for her son every time he walks out the front door. As a young man, Jesus would be held on the side of the road, interrogated with his burnt bronze skin and woolly hair. He'd tell police he was the Son of God, the Son of God. They demand to see his ID. Him with his 12 friends gathered just looked suspicious. Hashtag biblical Barbara called the cops on them. Peter would be like, "We're just breaking bread, man." The police report would describe their behavior as wilding. Jesus will be held up in a holding cell because he couldn't afford bail. He had a record, see? He got pinched for the destruction of property. You remember him overturning the tables in the temple? Because of preaching during leisure time, he was accused of rousing the prisoners and thrown into solitary confinement. Guards teased, only the Holy Spirit could visit you now. Walking on water is much more manageable than walking through concrete. Jesus would still be a carpenter in 2020, his hands calloused, he'd smell of sawdust. Upon release, he'd start a nonprofit building shelters for the homeless. When traveling to the Habitat for Humanity annual conference, he's held at the airport like other Nazarenes. His name is on the no-fly list. He doesn't understand the meaning of the word borders. He understands the concept of kingdom, though. Have you ever met a carpenter? He'd have to have strong hands, a muscled body to carry that heavy cross and the burden of proof. We'd be posting Insta stories while he's dragging the cross down Pennsylvania Avenue. Simon had to be compelled to get involved because Jesus must have been guilty of something, right? Meanwhile, on Facebook, we're checking ourselves in as safe, #blessed. And when Jesus will be nailed to the cross, we'd say, Pontius Pilate isn't perfect, but we have to keep the empire together now. When they eventually let him down, they'd leave his body lying there uncovered for 6 hours. His mother cradles him and tries to revive him, and she starts praying because the insurance company will say death by crucifixion is a pre-existing condition. It was prophesied after all. She's screaming, somebody do something! This is my son! They put his body in a cold, damp place, kind of like a cave. It would be the women who first came and learned of his resurrection, and the men would proceed to explain that a resurrection happened while the women watched Christ as he disappeared into heaven. In 2020, Jesus would tell us he is the Son of God, and we wouldn't believe him. He doesn't have as many followers as Kendall Jenner. We tell Jesus that walking on water isn't a marketable skill and there's no money in miracles. The money is in making the people wait for the miracle. Just have them stay hoping for it. In 2020, Jesus will be in Flint, Michigan, turning corrosive water into water, and that would be the miracle. He would turn fish less radioactive and no one would eat the bread because we're all watching our carbs. We count carbs, but not body counts. Instead of raising Lazarus from the dead, he tried raising 20 tiny first graders from Sandy Hook. And it almost wouldn't work. And people would drag him on Twitter for this #EpicFail because the first graders, they didn't want to come back. They cried, the cost of living is too high, Jesus. And Jesus would be heartbroken because he so loved the little children. And in this current rendition, this is the point where Jesus looks up into heaven and screams, Father, why have you forsaken me? The moral of this story is Jesus is already here. Aren't we all the child of God? Aren't we? Isn't it every day we perform a miracle? Just getting through it? It's the greatest story ever told.
Woo!
That's it.
Every time. From that first time I met you, her story, rehearsal to now, you know, you kill every time. I would unmute Lyric, but I'm still hating on her right now.
That's all right. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
Angela,
you.
I have nothing but nice things. Let me just go ahead and unmute Lyric since she hating right there.
I'm saying,
Okay.
thank you for this. That's my fire sister right there. That is my ace. And anytime she spits it makes, first of all, you gotta have like a pen and paper to write down some of her, like her you could go reflect back on them. But so as mother, I want to say, she said that I taught her how to be an artist mother.
Yes.
I'm back from you because you raising some powerful girls. You raising some powerful young women.
Yes, because Eva says should be on a t-shirt.
Eva, look, I already called it. I'm gonna be her manager. I'm gonna be her promoter because Eva Diva is going to the top.
Well, let me tell you what my Facebook co-host that I just
I love it. That's great.
Said, "Oh, Angela, you're killing it. Direct to the neck. Great piece indeed. Nothing but great things people are saying on here about you in this piece."
That's great.
Is there anything you want to say before I call on my girl, Jaleesa?
I just want to say, you know, all we got is us. You know, this is a beautiful thing. This is, you know, I just, you know, I want to say, you know, I don't want to go back to normal. The normal wasn't helping everybody. You know, this is an opportunity right now. I know there's a lot of, I'm an educator, I'm an artist, I'm a parent. Like, I understand there's a lot that's going on right now. This is, can we reframe the moment as an opportunity? Can we shift so we can finally be in alignment with our values? And, you know, there is so much that we can't do, but there's so many other things that we can do, and we can do it together. We can do it together. This is an opportunity. That's it.
And if nothing else, the least we can do is just be kind to one another. Jaleesa, my sister, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I remember she FaceTimed me. She said, "I have a child too. I want to be in a thing." Well, of course you can, Jaleesa. Like, this was we had like over 30 people reach out to me for this event, and not to take anything away from the other ladies who didn't get on the ticket, I just couldn't put everybody on. And Lord knows, I wish I could, but I couldn't. So, you know, these all of us, we are the divine nine right now, but there's so many other women whose stories need to be told about being a mother in the pandemic, giving back, and just know that we love you and we care about you too. Jaleesa, I'm gonna be quiet. Look, woo, go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. Well, so the first piece that I'm going to do is dedicated to my daughters, because I have two daughters. One is 2, one is 11. And my oldest daughter, she watches Disney Channel all the time. And when she watched Disney Channel, she rarely sees little girls that look like her. You know, they have, you know, different hair, different skin complexions. And sometimes she compares herself to those little girls. And I keep telling her, like, you are just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than some of the little girls you see. So this poem is called Love Your Hair. Love your hair. Smooth, silky strands that protrude from your scalp, giving life to new creations. Beautiful. God's given DNA that only belongs to you. Girls, stop letting the image of folks on TV and social media wannabes tell you who you are. You were made special. A mold that cannot be mended. Hair, whether ponytailed or beaded, curly or straight, you determine your look. Reaching for relaxers and weaves, wigs and extensions will not show the beautiful you. Be yourself, while everyone else is busy trying to be someone else. Hold your head high, princess. Your hair's your crown and glory. It holds stories of Africa. Your legacy grows with every inch. Stand proud, princess. You have to love yourself enough to accept yourself. Hair, beautiful black hair, whether it's an afro or 2-strand twisted, dreaded or low cut, it's yours. You were made special with precision and care. You should always love yourself and take pride in your hair. Love your hair.
Yes. Yes. 10s across the board, party in this slam if it was a slam. I don't care. You fry it, dye it, lay it to the side. Love your hair. You know, when I twisted my hair, I had to go get permission because I was like I was modeling back then. So I went to the people, I want to twist my hair. You know what they told me? You're not going to get as many modeling gigs. I got more gigs that year than I ever had before. So stop letting people define you. Love your hair. And I'm really not going to say nothing else. Boop.
Real quick, can I say something to her?
Yeah.
I have three nieces, girls, a set of twins that are 4 and 5. And they have like all three of them have different textures from 4C, 3C, 2C, whatever color number they want to name these hairs right now. But when they were in Chicago, they were at a school and they were like literally the minority. And one of their teachers, like, she came home one day and she was like, she was crying. She cut her hair. She cut the front of her hair.
And the teacher cut her hair?
No, my niece cut her hair.
Oh, I was going to say, somebody's about to get shot.
Listen, so my sister was like, why? So I'm like, down here, you know, what's going on? So I guess the teacher was like pointing out the differences between them. And she points to, oh, she has this type of hair. And she points to my niece and goes, her hair is crazy.
Oh, okay. We're going to stop right there and let Jaleesa do her next. Everybody process that. Everybody just process how they do us. You know, we need to, we have to teach, whether you thin hair, long hair, short hair, we got to teach our young future leaders, our women, to be how important it is for them to just be them. We don't empower them enough. We so busy trying to mold them, shape them, but let them love who they are first. And let me meet that teacher in a dark alley. It's about to go down.
Oh, when I flew up there, I flew up there and I told my sister, I was like, I'm picking him up from school today because I need to meet this teacher.
Okay, and we're going to have Jaleesa do her second poem because we are running out of time. And before they cut me off, I want to at least have us give advice to any parent in the pandemic. Bam, Jaleesa.
All right, so this piece is called My People. Beautiful, strong, courageous, hardworking. These are the words to describe my people. Born with unique features like high cheekbones and long legs, made to appreciate standing on the shoulders of great ancestors, built with winner's blood, able to carry the weight of the world by wearing a smile. My people, descendants of the 8 great African continents, skin like ebony or mocha or vanilla chai. Our style is flawless, able to create masterpieces with the fabric the world has grown at us. Intelligent, one of a kind, bridge builders. We make connections that are everlasting. My brothers, my sisters, we are the caretakers of the earth. We must continue the legacy of those who've come before us. Continue to be the keepers of our brothers and sisters. Lift up the world with one hand while holding on to our traditions in another. My people, able to go through trials and tribulations and come out triumphant. Let us not forget where we all began, on that one African continent, as one people.
All right,
Thank you.
And I just want to share with y'all my experiences with this fantastic sister, Jaleesa. She is from, I met her on the Newark poetry scene. You know how you meet people and you're like, and you'd be like, oh, they full of shit. You know, but when I met Jaleesa, there was nothing but warm, nurturing, caring. Like, this is who I am, even when I'm not on the microphone. And she is also, I have to blow up your spot, a graduate of Rutgers University, correct? And a former member of the Black Organization of Students, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a member of Boss 2 from back in the day.
Yes.
I had keys to the Boss building. Y'all don't know about that. I got keys to the Boss building. So I just want to shout her out and say, I follow you on Facebook and I see what you're doing. And I'm going to unmute right now, there's a panel discussion that is clearly not going to happen because we got like 3 minutes and I don't want Chris to hurt me. But what I would love to do, ladies, if we can, I'm going to unmute all of our lovely participants. I'm sending love to Sharita. I don't know what happened to her. She didn't make it online, so I'm just hoping she's okay. That's my sister from North Carolina. But I want to send some love and hope that she's okay. I just want, and I see you, Nzinga, Queen Nzinga. I see you. I just want to unmute our lovely features, and if they can give a line or two, a quick word, advice for parents in the pandemic, women, artists, anything. Just align it to Renee. You're first.
Just align it to, I think someone said it earlier. It's okay not to be, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be perfect. And it's okay to just change, because the old was not working. Just know it's okay to be you.
All right. Rachel Finley, all the way from Arizona.
I guess my advice is kind of along a similar line, which is just that I think it's good to share with your children where you are, if you know, in a constructive way. We don't have to hide how we're feeling. I think by sharing it in a constructive way, it makes them feel free to share with us what they're feeling, and then we can all work through it together.
And oh, look at here! I see we had a special celebrity guest appeared at Angela's.
My 2 lines.
Yes.
It's a parallel journey with your children.
It's a parallel
journey. Let them teach you as much as you want to teach them.
I agree with that, and I think Blackbird Flyer, you agree with that? My unofficial Facebook co-host, Queen Moore, what you got for us?
My thing is to create. I did this journal. I've been teaching parents and students combined art classes with the Centers of Hope in Newark, New Jersey all summer. And this is one thing I did, one of the lessons, which is a creative journal. And one of the mothers hit me up. She said, you know what? All these classes are usually for kids. She said, but I need something, and I need something more than a glass of wine.
Yes.
So get you an open notebook, get you a dictionary or an old book, a picture of your grandma, like I did, some fake flowers, and just glue down things that are of importance and put it in a pretty ass book like I did. So you got this, it says on the front of this book from Marshall's.
Thank you, Queen. Jaleesa, what's your words of advice, wisdom?
So what I've learned is that I've never been in a situation, so I don't understand. And because I don't understand, I need to listen. And I think that's the most important thing. A lot of parents, we think we know all the answers. We've never been in a situation. So we have to stop talking sometimes and just listen to our kids, because they're going through so much.
Yes, thank you. Well said. I get to unmute Lyric again. Feel the shade. Feel the shade, Lyric. Now it's not unmuting. Why can't I unmute you? Okay. Hi, Lyric.
All right. I'm going to do this real fast. Woman is strong, fiery, loving, sweet, beauty, nurturing, caring. She possesses mystical powers in mysterious ways that should not be confused with superhuman traits. She is fragile and she is still fragile and needs your time and patience and support. Tell a woman she is super, but doesn't have to be a superwoman.
Okay. One thing, because I'm that's your advice. Tell a woman she gotta be superhero. Okay, I said 2 lines, not no mini poem, but I still love it.
Guess what? I wanted to make sure that they understood where I was coming from. I had to know they had that a context, because we do not have to be super women. We have to understand we're still human, and that's okay if we cry. It's okay if we bend. It's okay. So, and I'm gonna repeat, it's okay to not be okay. And as a therapist, I advocate that if you write, if you talk, if you scream, if you yell, if you dance, whatever, because this is definitely unprecedented time. So,
and I would like to add, if I may, we know how we tell our children there's no such thing as a stupid question. We need to remind ourselves as well, especially during this time. If you don't know something, reach out and ask for help or try to find the knowledge. I do not promote my page for clinical social work practice, and I have my independent practice. But if I can point you in the right direction, like say maybe you should call these people, I have no problem with doing that. And if you are feeling like hurting yourself or harming somebody, I need you to call 911. I need, and let somebody know that you need some extra help. My name is Helena D. Lewis. You can get at me on hdlpoet.com. Shout out to Renee Moss from Florida. Shout out to brothers Baba Zayed. I see you. You've been with us all night long. I see you. Rachel Friendly all the way from Arizona. My girl Angela, who survived the Silver Surfer with me. My new mama, Queen Moore, freestyle queen. I love you so much. Delisa, my boss Rutgers student and alumnus, okay? My girl in the struggle, Lyric, I love you. And Sharita, although you didn't appear, I hope that you are okay. I'm sending you some cyber love. Chris, thank you for letting us do this a little bit over time. My favorite song is What Can You Do For Me by LaBelle. So if you need me, you got me. Please know. Y'all be safe. And I have another show next Saturday called You Can't Black Me In. Woo! Want truth, yeah, or nothing at all. I know I can't sing, don't judge me. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care. Reach out and cyber hug somebody. Chris, I know you got something else to do. If you got to log us off, go ahead. I'm going to let the music rock until you disconnect. I learned how to play it from my cell phone. I feel so 2020. There was a time when I couldn't do this. I hate to tell you this, but I'm old.